my video because y'all was going off. I was just a bit irritated. Like, again, I've been irritated about this all freaking for the last two few months, man. And the reality of this is, right? I don't want to say white girl with a level of hatred because I don't have anything against white people, right? I don't want that to come out incorrectly. My frustration, however, comes when there is a level of privilege exercised in that sort of whiteness, okay? Meaning that this girl doesn't work. Okay, she does some stuff, but not a whole lot. And she really seeks the easy way out. So, like I said, sending me a video link, hey, watch this to fix my problems when I know that my problems are out of my reach. That's why I went to the girl about the problem in the first place, because she's the only one that can fix them, right? To me, it feels like I'm half-assed doing my job, right? When she wasn't in the office for it felt like 6 7 months, like honestly she hadn't been in the office the entire time I've really been working there, right? I would say the total amount that she's been in the office, if you really had to calculate it, maybe 2 months out of all 12 months plus, right? That is a problem. Okay, now, we do have options to work from home. However, this girl's job is operations. Not sure how much work is really getting done at home, right? The excuse for why this girl never comes into the office, because I have personal problems. She's got a personal problem for every day of the week. That is the excuse that I'm told by the owner, and the owner expects me to just kind of understand. I've seen people fired for a hell of a lot less. Do you understand me? So I don't understand it. I just can't, right? My tax manager, the first time I brought this issue to them, my tax manager went in and he vouched for me because the tax manager is fed up. The entire team is fed up, literally. Okay. He goes in, he supports me. He tells the owner, you're wrong on this. Like, CC's right. Like, this is who should be running the show, not this girl, right? Then because he hears it, and my thought process is because you hear it from your friend who you've promoted, right? It sinks in a little differently than somebody like me who obviously I'm not really your friend. I'm just a work friend, right? And that's fine. But then I look at everybody who came before me, all of the women who have said something to him about this and are no longer working for this company. This issue, from what I understand, has been going on for 5 years plus. So I'm new to the party, right? When I have my tax team who started with him when he opened his business, one of my preparers started with him and he told me, he made it clear to me in a way without doing so, basically, you're not moving up here. There is no other option at this point because of how the company is ran. And in my head, I'm thinking, I can fix it. I can fix it. You know, as long as they're doing their part, we can do our part. I got this. But I've come to the conclusion that my options in terms of being able to fix things, right, in terms of giving certain permissions to do things, that is a trust issue that if I haven't established that level of trust yet, I feel like I'm never going to establish, right? If I know that I work my ass off and everybody else knows I work my ass off and I do what is required of me and expected of me, I guess I don't know. I undergone a background check, right? Like I've done all the steps that are necessary for some sort of trust. I've been there for longer than a year. My degree is business management. You get what I'm saying? So mentally, the way he's running his company makes absolute no sense to me. Because the last thing I should have to focus on is software in the middle of fucking tax season at the level that I'm focused on it on. The white girl, the reason why her skin color matters, clearly I don't look like her. And she can feed him a bunch of bullshit about, oh, I'm going to work on it. I'll fix it. I'll get it done. And she gets away with that shit, even if she doesn't get it done. Then there's always an excuse as to why, and or they tried to pull this shit on me, talking about you didn't put an email address in the client profile. Bitch, that's not the error I'm talking about. Right? I mean, at the end of the day, and like I told my tax manager, that shit is irrelevant. That's something I can control. I'm not asking about the things that I can control. I'm asking about the things that are out of my control. And what it does is it messes up the entire process, because now I've got clients saying, hey, look, I can't sign in. I can't use this. I can't do X, Y, and Z, things that they should be able to do. And because I have no control, meaning that I can be proactive, I can call the company. Again, if it was me, I'd be on the phone with them all the time, right? I'd let them walk me through the steps, because I just feel like that's a much quicker method than trying to figure it out and join all these groups and stuff. The fuck, right? I'm sorry. I would just go to the source, right? And that's how I've always been trained to do. If I've got an issue with QuickBooks software and it's not something that I know how to control, I'm calling support. You know what I mean? So this isn't a rocket science, right? This is really kind of straightforward shit. So I feel like anytime this girl hits me with, oh, well, did you put the email address in? Oh, you didn't hit this drop down. It's like, you must think I'm in like kindergarten, trying to figure out how to use software, right? And so mentally, it's a lack of respect. This is what I feel like. It's a lack of respect for my time. It's a lack of respect for my team's time, right? It's a lack of respect in terms of not really acknowledging and recognizing people's expertise as it relates to me. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, right? Because they're already built. Tax manager is being built, although the tax manager doesn't even know if he really likes what he does. I'm the only one that has no real trajectory in terms of where my career with this company is really going to go. And it's very frustrating because I have a strong computer. I actually know the software better than the girl knows the software. That's why I keep recommending, like, you walk through these steps, you go through this process, and so you can see why the issue is being brought to you. If it was something that I could fix, I would have fixed it. It's not. But instead of doing the work, right? Because again, it takes time to have to call support. Then you got to sit on hold and go through all the numbers, right? That's a lot of work to some people, apparently. So we're just going to try to find anything and throw it at her to make it seem like I'm giving her solutions, but she's really not, right? All it's doing is pissing me off. And then I'm gonna complain and say, oh, well, there's a miscommunication. That's like when you got these little white boys stealing cars and committing crimes, and their parents are like, oh, my kid is, it's just a mental health issue. No, this is a lack of somebody not doing their fucking job. This woman is a grown-ass woman. I believe this woman's older than me, and she's got a college degree. So how do you not know how to troubleshoot some shit, right? So the kicker is, I told my tax manager, I said, I'm not a part of this meeting, because if I go into this meeting and y'all tell me anything than what I want to hear, I'm going to fucking lose my shit, bro. I know this about myself. I'm really fed up with this situation. Tax manager totally gets it. So he's like, okay, I got you. Like, I'll go into that meeting. I said, I'm sorry, because it's either that or I lose my job. Which one? Because I can't fucking handle it. I will wring the girl's neck. Like, this is where I'm at with shit, bro. So I send my tax manager a bunch of screenshots, because she gonna send some screenshots, and I'm like, bitch, like, that's some baby food. It is. I'm sorry. Sending me shit about making sure the client profile is filled out. Like, I told my tax manager, I said, this is something. I said, she's got access to the same software we do. If her job is to troubleshoot the software, isn't part of that process ensuring that the email addresses are entered in correctly? Like, if it was me, for example, if I was in her shoes, because I'm so sick of the question being brought to me and the error being brought to me, I would do more of a thorough thing. I'm not just going to send you a video link, be like, here, what? Make sure you have some email. No. If there's a problem, I'm going to say, okay, well, let me get in and try. I'm going to try to send a request. And if I cannot, let's see what error pops up. Okay, then we go to, well, is the email address correct? Is this correct? First of all, the system doesn't know if the email address is correct or not, but you get what I'm saying. Then you can go to that. Once you see that that's not relevant to what the error is, you should be getting on the phone to contact someone, even after they sent you something in writing stating that you needed to get on the phone to fix it. But I don't know what I'm talking about. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm being gaslighted. Like there's a clear issue. Everybody else sees the issue except the owner. I've recognized this is not a battle I'm going to win. Nobody else has won it. Okay. I also recognize that this girl is doing more than just working. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like there's more to this shit than what's really made known to us. So at this point, this is a woman who drove a company car, crashed a company car because she was drunk, but still works for the company. Let that sink in. So I'm at a point where it's like, okay, if I can't change the way that processes are being done because they got to be done smoothly and efficiently, and if we're not going to do it and nobody cares and you're going to tell me you disagree with me even though I know I'm right, and it's okay that you can disagree with me, but I just feel like behavioral patterns, right? Or you see them over the course of a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So if you're still making excuses for this person now in the 5th, 6th year, and it's everybody else's problem, meaning that she can do no wrong. He disagrees with all of us. Because the moment I got done talking about this situation, one of the tax preparers approached me and he said, you know what? I understand your frustration. He said, I got on the tax manager about the same thing yesterday. I know. We talk. We get it. We're all in the same boat. We understand. The owner hasn't just is choosing to not understand. I don't fucking know. So tax manager goes in and he starts playing with some things. And he shows me that he was able to go in and change some settings that apparently were never changed. So this girl's saying, oh, I changed it. I fixed it. She didn't do shit. Then the tax manager goes in because he's trying to, again, he has to look at it a little bit objectively because he's the bridge between us and the owner, even though I talk to the owner directly because I don't give a fuck, right? I'm letting you know where I communicate, okay? And keep in mind, I only started communicating because it pisses me the fuck off. So tax manager does everything that he's supposed. So I sent him the issue. Tell me why the tax manager jumps in. He tries to send a request and can't. He goes in and tries to follow the steps that the support team gave him, and it still doesn't fix the situation. Now, keep in mind, it's only in his mind. So he's just testing all this out to make sure he understands what's going on when he has this conversation next week, right? But the fact that he's younger than this lady and he did the exact same steps I would have expected her to do, but he did it, not her. Okay. Then he says, well, you know, it's not the email addresses, duh. I said that. I've said that like many, many times already, but I don't know what I'm talking about. That's how I'm treated. Then he says, well, it looks like the next step is to put a phone call into support. I said, and I told him, I said, you see how quickly you came up with that? You came up with that in about 10 minutes, maybe less. So realistically, what is this girl doing? I just don't get it. Okay. I don't fucking get it, bro. She's got a college degree and you don't know how to troubleshoot software. But I got to adhere to your rules on how to utilize the software, how you want the software to run. You want to control the permissions to the software so nobody else can control them but you. The person who is ERO, which is like your, I don't know how to explain it. He's even saying, give it to Cece. Give all of this to Cece. No, 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 no. Okay. Okay. So anything that I'm striving to do for the company to try to make myself more money, I'm limited. I can't, they won't let me do. I can do her job 10 times better than she can, but they won't let me do it. It makes more sense for me to do her job because I'm utilizing the software on a regular basis. Meanwhile, this white girl gets to just, skate on by while making my life, my work life 10 times harder. So I appreciate that my tax team stands behind me. But I am really, really tired of feeling like I feel like I'm gaslighted. Like I feel like I'm telling you there's a problem and you're telling me that there's no problem. Or you're telling me, oh, this is a miscommunication. It's not a fucking miscommunication, bro. Maybe on her end, maybe she's not hearing it correctly. Maybe she's not reading thoroughly, maybe. But on my end, I feel like I'm very direct. I'm very honest. I've said exactly what I need to get done. I've even taken the steps to try to get it done. And you're still throwing this back in my face as if I don't know what I'm talking about. So every time I hear this lady tell me, well, did you put the email address in correctly? It's like talking to a kindergarten. Did you forget to tie your shoes? Did you remember to tie your shoes today? That's exactly what I hear. Meanwhile, she was supposed to have things done, I think last Friday, had nothing done last Friday. And I'm expected to be able to work at the same pace, the same capacity, the same level. And I'm just telling y'all now, my motivation is just gone. Like, I know that I can run this. If it was me and I had someone like me, or if I didn't trust me, I would have gave access to the tax manager. I would have made sure that someone on the team has the ability to troubleshoot if and when necessary. The fact that people do not have access to this is one thing. But the fact that a girl who doesn't work, doesn't have to do much, just be white and blonde and blue eyed, because that's exactly what this is. The man's wife is blonde hair and blue eyed. Okay. So you can tell that he's a sucker for blonde hair and blue eyes. And I guess a part of me felt like, oh, well, he knows I make him money, right? So he's going to do what it takes to ensure that we're able to work smoothly. I don't think this man puts enough value on my position, let alone the tax department. I don't think there's enough value there. Now, he can say he values us, but when you value people, right, you pay them, first of all, you pay them, because all this money going into this new building, we could have stayed where we were at, right? That's just the truth. And you could have paid people more. That's number one, right? Because what I'm getting paid to do the kind of work that I do at the capacity that he's wanting to get it done at, you're not paying me enough, nowhere near close enough, right? I feel like no matter how hard I work, I will never really have a voice. I have a voice enough where it's like, we have to listen to you, right? But the things that I say are not implemented. So when my tax manager, because I didn't ask him yet, because I was really going ham today and I didn't want, let me let it die down. But one of my questions I will be asking my tax manager is how's that conversation go? Because what's going to happen is he's going to sit down with her and him and he's going to tell him she's right. The owner chatted me today, sent something to me after I said I'm not meeting with you guys because my mental health and my stress levels are much more important at this time. I don't see anything changing. Therefore, I'm not meeting. Like, you're not going to have me waste my time to sit in a meeting to reiterate what I've already said many, many times, only to gaslight me. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm sorry. Like, respect is like, no, I'm not doing it. So if you want to meet and you want to gaslight somebody, gaslight your tax manager, because I got a job to do. You see what I'm saying? You can have fun with your tax manager. I will not be meeting with you. And if you want me to meet with you, I will not say anything during the meeting because I'm tired of talking. Like I said, I will not be nice. I have nothing nice to say. So you don't want me in that meeting because I will hurt this girl's feelings. You know. So he sent me something because I know he was probably pissed. I don't give a fuck. My happiness is more important right now than your goddamn wanting to sit down and have a meeting for a miscommunication that has been communicated by many people, not just me, over the course of the time the girl's been there with the company. It just is what it is. He knows the issue. He can argue with me. He can say, oh, because he tried to tell me the other day, well, I think you two should learn how to understand each other. Huh? I don't understand somebody who gets paid a paycheck and don't fucking work. I'm sorry. Like, like, even if, let me be clear, it would be different if the girl was in her own department, right? Doing God knows what. And I've never seen the girl. I don't care. But when you're interfering with my fucking work, bro, I don't want to hear the bullshit. I'm not a girl. Like, I really peep bullshit. Easy. And the fact that you think you can spew some bullshit to me, I think that's what makes me even so much more upset. It's like, it wouldn't even be the matter of maybe she didn't understand me correctly. It's the excuses behind the shit. You're not dealing with, again, she's got a master's degree. And you're trying to convince me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, the issue still boils down to this has nothing to do with no email addresses. It has everything to do with the software and calling support. And the tax manager just confirmed it. So now, here we go. This second time around, after having this discussion, we've had it about 5 times already in the last 4 months. They're about to have another discussion. Because I don't know, tell them I will be MIA. You're not scheduling no shit to me. I will not be there. I don't want to be a part of it. Because I don't see it as I gotta make excuses for her. That's not my role. That's his role, I guess. Not mine. So I do feel, and the reason why this is about being Black, right? Because I don't know other people's experiences. What it feels like is no matter how much I'm right, I'm still told, no, 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 no. And there's plenty of issues that go into this, right? But when I say that I don't feel like I'm trusted, I feel like it's an innate distrust that people have with Black people. And I get a lot of it. I get it. But when you have somebody who is as dedicated, I feel like I'm super dedicated, a little too much. But it's because I wanted to see my money grow. I wanted to see my career grow with this company. I didn't want to stay stagnant in this with this company. I'm now in a space where I recognize that what I want and what it actually is are two very different things. And so I have been open opportunity. Obviously, I'm going to be working with more white people, but the people that I've been meeting seem like they work. Do you understand me? Like the company I was just at, it was hard because me and the girls, I say girls, because the way we were talking during the interview, it was kind of cool. But when I met with some of these folks, they had a similar route as mine. They went through this path just like me. And I feel like if I was under somebody, not a businessman, but an actual CPA, right, I could learn so much. And if I didn't know something, right, well, I take that back. And I could really get my CPA license a lot quicker. So for me, it's just like, y'all, I'm just sick of it. I feel like my race, because at the end of the day, she's treated differently than all of us. And I'm just bold enough to say it because at some point I feel like if I don't get it off my chest, is I'm gonna explode, and then y'all really be looking at me crazy. So I'd rather have the communication in the dialogue. I'm not being disrespectful, but I'm letting you know this ain't okay. I've said it once. I've let them know it's not okay. Now I'm throwing my fit. I don't want to be a part of your meeting. And the more they keep putting me through this shit, the lesser and lesser I'm willing to stay. You know, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to rage quit. You're not going to drive me there. You're going to have to fire me before I rage quit. That's a fact. But I am looking for other opportunities. I'm excited for other opportunities. Like I'm hopeful for another opportunity somewhere else. Just because I can't do this anymore, y'all. For me, work ethic is a big thing. Organization is a big thing. Processes is a big thing, especially when you're working at the level that I am. When you've got 600 something clients, you need to have processes and you need to have people dedicated to those processes and to ensuring that those processes are working smoothly. When people are coming to you and when I'm the face of the company, what I mean by face of the company is I'm dealing with the client from the very beginning. I'm the one getting them set up and ready for a tax preparer to work on them. I'm the one ensuring that the tax return is ready by a certain deadline, that we have all the documents we need to get it done. I'm really the one that's responsible for a lot of that tax return process outside of preparing the return. So if I'm telling you, any owner, if I'm coming to you, it's that's what I said, and I told him too. It's going what you put the value on with this company, because some companies, the last company when I went to do the interview, the girl who did my job was made partner. She owns 10% of that company, and she does my job for that company. It tells you how much value this man places on what we do. Meanwhile, I'm gonna sell everybody a dream in hopes that they stay here. And one thing he said, "Oh, you're always gonna be here." Oh, okay. I think that's how I'm being treated, as if I ain't got nowhere else to go. Okay. Like I said, y'all, I'm a Pisces first. I innately don't know the actual reason for a lot of this, but I do feel like a lot of it is a level of privilege this girl receives. It's just that simple. And a lot of that privilege comes from being blonde hair and blue eyed. That's it. This is why this shit has been able to continue as long as it continues. And he can say he disagrees with me all he wants to, but I know that this is a much bigger issue than just some goddamn email addresses. And so when I'm telling you that she's coming to me with generic information, well, I disagree. You don't even know what the fuck is going on. You're just, I disagree. Well, then you can disagree with the tax manager who just did the same steps I did, verified that the profiles were filled out, okay, and still no change. You can argue with him then. Because listen, I'm not going to tell you how to run your company. What I do know is I do know how to do this. I know how to run this company. If this man was to walk away tomorrow, I guarantee you I would still know how to run this business. And the fact that my expertise is not leaned on, it's cool, but it shows me the respect level, the respect, how much respect is really there. You can talk a good game, but your actions say everything. So I'll give you breadcrumbs. I'll let you paint your office, right? But don't tell me to change my processes. Don't, you know, don't, add your 2 cents into anything else that can make the job run better and smoother, especially when it comes to the blonde hair, blue eye girl. I was told when I started working there by one of his so-called friends that he's known for a long time. And she was a manager there, you know. And one thing she did, she and I went to lunch, and I was wanting to do this everywhere I go. I want to know the politics, right? I want to know the scoop. And there's always that one person that's willing to tell you everything. First thing the girl told me, watch out for that. This girl, that she's not going nowhere, that she believes, you know, that the girl, if the man died, right? Let's say that the owner died. The two people that will be fighting for the company is the wife and this white girl. Basically made it clear to me the white girl's not going nowhere. And that she recognized the same issues, the same concerns, had the same frustrations that I did. This is what she told me when I first started. I didn't know the girl well enough. I didn't work with the girl well enough to really know what they were talking about until like I started working with the girl. Then like I said, the preparer that's been there since he started, he told me, he said, so yeah, they do this every year, right? They talk about how processes are going to change and things are going to change and get better and all this jazz, but it ends up being the same thing every year. And he's been there for like 5-6 years now. So you got to understand what he's telling me. That's in the back of my mind every fucking day. Because in my head, it's like, well, I need to know if I can grow with this company or not. If I can, I got to keep going, right? I got to keep pushing. This is a stepping stone. I appreciate the stepping stone, but then I need to determine if my life purpose is needed elsewhere, right? Because I can't be at a company that won't grow, that is stagnant. I can't, you guys. Like, I just can't. Because of where I'm striving to go and how fast I'm striving to get there. Do you understand? So when he told me that, he's like, yeah, so, you know, you would do really well with the IRS, like literally throwing out Easter eggs so that I understand and or prep my mind that, hey, this may not happen. This vision that he's throwing at us may not be realistic. It's realistic, but the processes have to be there, right? So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, whatever. Like, I'm going to still try to give this my all. I've been giving it my all. I've been just trying to do what I got to do. And it's like nothing. I mean, the moment one area of the business gets together, the rest of it is a mess. Then they get that aspect of the business together, the other parts fall apart. It's like, y'all, I've never been with such a dysfunctional, it's not even dysfunctional because it brings in a lot of money, but I would say disorganized environment. And then it feels like the owner wants to be everybody's friend. So instead of actually being a boss, he's a boss when it makes sense to him, but a boss when it doesn't. Like, I don't know how to explain it. He's everybody's friend instead of a fucking boss. So I wanted to say that because I know that I can be passionate and I say things in a manner that may not be receptive to the ears. I don't hate white people. White people have played a critical part in my success in my life, have always have. What I hate is when people are able to utilize their white skin to do shit to get around. I guess if I had the privilege, maybe I would use it in that manner. I don't really see that being the case because I have a high level of integrity and I just would feel bad, right? If you was just paying me and I'm not doing no work, right? But I don't know, right? I've never been white, so I don't know. What I will say though is it's an obvious difference of what's the expectation levels are between me and someone like her, and my team and someone like her. And there's only two blonde hair, blue eyed girls. So unfortunately, and they're both treated just a little bit different. One is a bit younger, I don't see her relationship being as, weird with the owner as the other one is. So I am praying for something better, you guys. I'm over it. I'm over trying. I feel like my personality, I've been able to open up a lot more. If nothing else that I've taken away from this position, I've got to meet some cool people. I learned a lot of things as it relates to tax. I've learned mostly how to kind of not mirror my business, but know, okay, because I didn't know if I was overcharging, undercharging. I didn't know if I was doing the bookkeeping really right. So there's a lot of confirmation that I got from working with this company, in terms of how I run my own business. But I just, again, I don't see me being set up to be able to use my degree. I don't really see my position going beyond what it is. And I don't think that the owner places enough value on the position, although he says that my position is the most important position, but I ain't getting paid the most important kind of money. You know what I mean? So I'm over it, you guys. I'm really over it. And this company is going to end up with a rude awakening, because what's going to happen is I'm going to put my 2 weeks in, and that's it. That time is coming. So all it needs, it may take a month from now, maybe a week from now, who knows? But I know that as long as I keep looking, as long as I'm actively job hunting, as long as I'm wanting it as bad as I do, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So it's unfortunate, you guys, because I really liked the people I work with to some degree, right? I like the company, but I think I like the culture more than anything. And I know that with accounting firms, some of them are beginning to change their mold and their make in terms of their company culture and what they expect of their employees. And I'm not looking to be working for someone very long, but I've got to work for someone in order to keep building my business. So this is where I'm at, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I'm trying to give y'all an accurate depiction of what I feel, so you can understand why I feel it. And I really feel like it has everything to do with white privilege. I swear to you, I do. I don't know that it's racism as much as it is privilege. I don't know if the two are separate or together, but I don't know, man. And I've learned, I'm over it. Give me my days off on Fridays. Days off. My work from home days on Friday. I'm definitely about to take advantage of it. I've got an interview tomorrow anyway, right? So it all works for me. I just gotta keep my head cool and continue to be adamant about my boundaries, because again, the circumstance I'm in, I could see how it could be miscommunication on her end, but I feel like what I've been saying is actually pretty clear and pretty direct. And I don't see how having a meeting, if the owner is telling me he doesn't agree with what I'm saying, but I know that in this area, it's pretty black and white. There's no gray. That means the processes won't change, meaning that everybody who's talked to me about this is right. And I just need to take heed. I need to acknowledge that the processes will not get better and or will not, change for the better. And so I accept it. And I know that it's time to move on with my life at this point. So that's all I got to say, y'all. I'm out. Peace.